I'd been around groups like that before, so it wasn't the first time I'd seen it. When I was at Kidderminster Harriers, that was quite not to the same degree, but it was an interesting group. There was a lot of characters. I think there were Bristol again, going into Bristol as a newcomer halfway through the season and having to gel with this team that's playing really, really well. But the Tranmere, yeah, it was quite ruthless. You know, people said what was on their minds after games. There probably was a few bust-ups as well. It was interesting. I kind of took it all in. It wasn't, nothing was really ever pushed towards my performances. I think maybe once, and rightly so. And I just took it. I was like, yeah, you're right, fair enough. And maybe from then there wasn't a reaction, so there was no reason for them to come at me again. I don't know, maybe. But yeah, I think that's football for you. There's going to be cliques. There's going to be people that prefer each other opposed to the others. There's going to be geographical biases in especially a club like Tranmere, where they feel like it's everyone against Tranmere against everyone else. So I think that's just the mentality that the club have, because you've got Everton, Liverpool, and it's them. So they're like they want to kind of prove themselves a bit more, which is great, and that's the kind of ethos of the club.
You said that there was maybe one occasion when you bore the brunt of it for a poor performance. Can you recollect what game that might have been, or what happened?
Yeah, it was the game. It was the game I got the injury, funny enough. But I think I came off the bench. I think there's maybe 10 or 15 minutes to go. I didn't win a header, and then when I went up for the header that I got injured on, I headed it back to our defenders, like 30 yards back. And I think it was Jay Harris, who I respect a lot. He's a very, very good player, good professional, and he came for me, to be fair. And to be fair, because I respected him, I knew him already. Like I said, I just took it because I didn't really do anything in the game. So there was frustrations. I think we drew 1-1. I think it was against Sutton or something like that at home. So there was a lot of frustrations. And yeah, he came for me. I don't think anyone else did that, but I just said, yeah, you're right. It wasn't good enough. And I think it was just left there because I took accountability. No one could really say anything else. But yeah, like that would be normal. So after every game, if there wasn't a performance that we wanted or enjoyed, yeah, someone was going to come for someone, definitely.
It was quite a strange period in the club's history, because obviously, as I'm sure you're aware, they'd just suffered back-to-back relegations. They'd come from being 2.5 years earlier fighting at the top end of League One to now being in the National League. And it wasn't a situation particularly the fans were familiar with. There'd been a whole new team built. There was a new manager. There was a new management team behind him as well. And I'm just looking at your debut. And your debut was a 2-0 defeat at home to Boreham Wood. Obviously, the kind of side that Tranmere would not particularly have played in the past. And for you, that must have been a fairly big occasion. Obviously, you played for Bristol Rovers and you played for Cambridge, and you started at Kidderminster as well. But in terms of playing at Prenton Park, that's quite, with no disrespect to those clubs, it's quite a big stage to be on, if you like. And that, I imagine that Boreham Wood game afterwards was pretty nasty from the fans.
That might have been the game, to be fair, that I was talking about. That might have been it. I don't know. But I mean, Prenton Park's a great, massive stadium. I don't know how many, 25, 30,000 maybe. But I played at Bristol Rovers before that. So Bristol Rovers, you're getting 15,000, especially on the promotion run. You're getting 15, 16,000 a game. So I was used to playing in front of big crowds. I think the only difference is when I was at Bristol, we were playing so well, everyone was on board. Whereas when I was at Tranmere, the fans were a bit disgruntled, as they should have been, because what they saw from 2.5 years ago to what they're seeing now is chalk and cheese. So there was a lot of pressure on the team to kind of be performing, and expectations to be there or thereabouts at the top. And yeah, it definitely filtered down onto the pitch. The Tranmere fans aren't shy in voicing their gratitude or displeasure, and yeah, we definitely knew that, and like I said, that kind of filtered in from there into the dressing room, and to the dressing room to the individual players. So everyone knew the situation when we were there. It was just a case of how do we resolve it in a way that's going to show on the pitch.